My name is Diavion, but you can call me Avi because today we're going to be in my pink library. We are doing a book video today and I'm so excited. I'm behind schedule, wherever my phone is at, but I'm also excited. We're supposed to be going to Barnes and Noble today, and then right after that we're going to a book club meeting, and after book club we'll do a haul, we'll do our little book chit chat, all that good stuff. But first things first, they took TikTok from us. Then they gave it back. So hopefully by the time this video gets out, TikTok is still with us. I don't know what games they're playing with TikTok right now, but I don't like it. I slept terrible. TikTok has become part of my nighttime routine and my morning routine. So I was really just laying in bed, jumping to Reels, swiping out, realizing I couldn't open TikTok. Reels is not the same. I tried Reels. It was just a lot going on. It's either really weird videos or they're really mean. I don't know. I cannot get into Reels. It's a whole different vibe. TikTok is Google with videos plus funny stuff. I don't know. I just love TikTok. So hopefully TikTok is still with us by the time you guys are seeing this video. But yeah, we are going to Barnes today. We are also on a budget. I did get some Barnes & Noble gift cards for Christmas, so I do plan on using one of those to repurchase my Barnes & Noble yearly membership, and maybe some other books, see what kind of sales they have going on right now. I don't really have any books that I'm just like, I need to get this so bad. I've already pre-ordered Onyx Storm, which is the third book for the Empyrean series, which is Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. So their third book, Onyx Storm, comes out, I believe, this month. It might be pretty soon. It should be coming out soon. So I need to check on that, see where my pre-order is, and to make sure everything's going okay. I think there was also some discourse between, I guess, Target's having their own special edition pre-order for that. Some people were a little bit upset about that, and also some people were getting their pre-orders early, so people were then spoiling what happens in the book. I haven't seen any spoilers, but a lot of that was going on, and they were actually attacking the author, Rebecca Yarros. She left social media. Apparently the same thing was also happening with Sarah J Maas. I didn't know that. I wasn't around the book community during that time, but I guess something similar happened with Sarah J Maas, and that explains why she's not on social media as much. I just thought she didn't care for it, but apparently something similar happened, and Sarah J Maas was like, I'm just not going to be on social media. So right now, Rebecca's taking a break from social media. Rightfully so. I would hate to get a bunch of comments, people attacking me, and she replies to a lot of comments. So it's not as if, you know, someone else runs her account, she's never going to see these comments. These authors read their comments. They are running their own accounts, so they're seeing everything people are saying about them, and I really feel bad for her. But hopefully with this break, she gets what she needs from this, and everybody learns to be a little bit nicer to authors. I don't know, just everybody be nice. And on top of that, just to add, when they took away TikTok, they took away CapCut. I use CapCut to edit my vlogs and my short form content, as well as the content for the book club. And I had not finished editing one of my vlogs on my computer yet, but I have CapCut downloaded, so it didn't do anything weird. I could still finish my stuff, but I was low-key getting a little scared, y'all. I was. Wow. But yeah. Oh, let me show you what I have. So I mentioned before, if you get the Barnes & Noble membership, you do get a free tote. Not free, you pay for it with your membership. But when you do sign up, you get a tote bag. This is the one I got last year. I'm excited to see what colors they have this year. But I do have some stuff in here to help me go for the day, because this is literally huge. It's a big bag. Right now, I do have The Alchemist in there, which is our book for book club. I don't know if I'm going to take this to Barnes, though, that way they don't think that I stole it or I'm walking out with it. I have my Kindle in here, my Sony headphones, because I like moving around with those. I have my G7X that I just recently got before Christmas for pictures. I have my small Sony, this is a Sony, right? My Sony tripod for small stuff, and my other big tripod. Right now, y'all are on one of my tripods, but I'm planning on using one to record for y'all, this other one to record the content for book club. So this is just my content bag, honestly. So this one might stay in my car when I go into Barnes, honestly, and then I'll have 2 tote bags to show y'all, and I'm so excited for that. Yeah, let's go.
Baby, I don't know why you're treating me so bad. You said you love me, don't wanna bump me, and I was all you had. And all my heart is beating for you, and I can't stop crying. do me wrong. See, when I'm home, I'm all alone, and you are always gone. Boy, you know I really love you, I can't deny. I can't see how you could bring me to so many tears after all these years. See, my days are cold without you. My days, yeah. And my heart can't take no more. I keep on reflecting. See, my days are cold without you. Without you. Without you. I keep on reflecting. I trusted you, I trusted you. So sad what love will make you do. All the things that we accept, be the things that we regret. So all of my ladies, come on, sing with me.
Okay, y'all, I'm back and I'm ready to yap. My favorite time of the year, my favorite time of the day, yap hour. Okay, so for book club, we did read The Alchemist this year. Not this year, but this month for our first book of the month. You know, everybody, new year, new you. Everyone likes to do the self-help, motivation. But a lot of people also are not into direct self-help books. You know, like The 7 Habits or The Subtle Art of Not Giving a... You know, those are more direct self-help books. So that wasn't the thing that we really wanted to go for. We wanted to go for self-help without it really being in your face as self-help. So self-help disguised as self-help, which is of course The Alchemist. This is the definition of a self-help book that is not just explicitly stated to be as a self-help book. The back, it says, to realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. This book, I felt like every single page I read, I wanted to make sure that I never forgot what they were just telling me. Now, this is a physical copy. I did not read it on the physical copy. After I finished the copy on my Kindle, I was like, I need this to have and to hold and to go in my library. So the copy I read on my Kindle was free, so I didn't really buy the book twice. But let me find my Kindle and I can show y'all some of the, or I can read to y'all some of the quotes that I liked. Okay, here is my Kindle. If you don't have a Kindle, this is the best part of having a Kindle, the back. Obviously I do have the sage green one. I don't believe they make this one anymore in this color. They do have some cool colors though, but I got this one last year and I decorated it to fit me. I love plants, I love pink, I love Michael Jackson, and I love books. So there is some bookmarks back here. Oh, and I love Star Wars. So we have some Star Wars back there, some pink butterflies, Michael Jackson, plants, more pink. If anyone loses this Kindle or they find it, they'll be like, you know what? Who likes pink? Who likes Michael Jackson? Who likes Star Wars? Diavion. That's exactly who likes these things. This is obviously Diavion's Kindle. Correct. It is. Make sure you give that back. Let me find where I'm at. I have probably at least 15 things highlighted in this book. The first one that I highlighted is on page 8. It says, when you want something, the whole universe conspires to help you. It's the simple things in life that are the most extraordinary. Everyone seems to, this is the best one. It's like a little jab that I find to be so relatable. Everyone seems to have a clear idea of how other people should lead their lives, but none about his or her own. Which this one, I don't know. Either way, yes, because that is deep to me, because people are always going to tell you how they think your life should be lived, how you should be living your life, what you are or not doing correctly. But then if you look at their life is not perfect, or their life may not be the best life either. So really at the end of the day, do what you want to do. Do what's going to best help you. Now don't go sabotaging your life, but do what you think is best. He never realized that people are capable at any time in their lives of doing what they dream of. This book really emphasizes also not waiting, because if you know what your goal is, you know what you should be doing, it's going to be up to you to take that leap. Because there was a person in here where he knew what his goal was. He knew that he could do it, but he chose to stay where he was at. So if you choose to stay where you're at and you choose not to fulfill your own destiny, that's going to be your own choice. You may still also, though, miss out on a lot of good stuff. You may miss out on your treasure. We are afraid of losing what we have, whether it's our life or our possessions and property. Oh, back to the one that I just read. Every blessing ignored becomes a curse. Come on, y'all. One is love because one is love. No reason is needed for loving. Hello, this is all before page 100. So all of these good quotes, and I'm not even reading all of them, I'm just kind of picking and skimming some of these that I've highlighted. But that is all before page 100. So if you really just need a book to help you figure out your, really maybe your life purpose, what journey you're on, this is a great book. Some people, it's called The Alchemist, but they don't really talk about alchemy until like the last 30 pages, if that. I would call it like maktub, because I mentioned that maktub in here means it is written. I might call it that versus calling it The Alchemist. Like, I understand why they called it that, but the alchemy is not really a main part of this book. It's more like a self-discovery and self-journey, honestly. One thing I also found to be interesting, I never really read the author's notes in the beginning, but for this book I was like, you know what, let me read it. And he points out that when he first wrote this book, his editors didn't care for it. No one helped him. It flopped terribly. And by chance, I believe it was an American who happened to see it in a bookstore and was like, you know what, this is, you have gold here. You're literally sitting on a gold mine right now. Let me bring this to the States and I guarantee it's gonna blow. And that's exactly what happened. And that just still ties into the whole theme of this book of, when it's your time, it is your time. Because had he been discouraged and just pulled his books off, or been like, you know what, everybody hates me, my writing is trash, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, we wouldn't have this book. We really wouldn't, because it was in the shelves, it was produced, it was brought out by his people, but it was not selling until he found a new team of people who really believed in him. So if you haven't started a book for the new year yet, or you don't know what to read right now, or just in general right now for the new year, whatever the case may be, I would definitely recommend The Alchemist. A lot of people who were in book club today mentioned they have read it more than once. This was my first time reading it, but when I did post it on my book page, I was told by someone else that they do read this book at the beginning of the year every year. And I can see why. I'm not big on rereading books. I tried to reread Fourth Wing, couldn't do it. I don't know, I'm sorry. I tried to do the audiobook. That bad boy was long, so I would have to just hop on YouTube to get the summary recaps for the book 1 and 2, because it's been a while and I forgot kind of what was going on. But yeah, I'm not really big on rereading books, but this one I can see why people reread it. It's not that lengthy, y'all. I promise you it's not. It's a less than 200 pages, and the writing, or the font, is pretty thick. Like, can y'all see that? Hope so. Yeah, not thick, but it's pretty spaced out, so it's not a long read at all. But without telling you too much of what it is, just read it, okay? It's set in Spain. It's really self-discovery. He is a what are they called, a shepherd? I think he's a shepherd. The people who lead the sheep, I think those are called shepherds, right? Hopefully, I don't know. So he's a shepherd who ends up meeting these people, and all these different things happen to him that get him to essentially his treasure, or his prophecy, or whatever you want to call it, or his destiny. And it really emphasizes I'm trying to think of how to say it without spoiling it. It really emphasizes the importance of enjoying your journey, even though you may not like the journey. Because I am a very big person of, this is terrible. Like, I said multiple times last year, this is the worst year of my life. I actually hate this year. I despise this year. When will it all stop? Like, that's how bad it was for me. But now that I've made it out of all of that, it's like, you know what, I went through all of those different things to get to this point. Had I not gone through those things, I wouldn't have the perspective that I do now. So in the moment, if you are going through anything, it really may feel like a terrible time for you. It really may feel like the worst of the worst. When is this going to stop? But I promise you, it will stop. It will stop. You will get through your trials and tribulations. You will get through your season of wilderness. All of that, you are going to get through it to get to your treasure. And that is really what this book is about. It really builds him as a person and shows the importance of your journey. So if you read The Alchemist, let me know. Or if you've already read The Alchemist, let me know in the comments how you felt about it. But I definitely might add this to my books that I do one day reread. This might be The Alchemist. But now we're going to jump into the good stuff. The fun part, the Barnes & Noble haul. Let's get to it. Nothing crazy. I did not go crazy because I did not want to swipe my card at all, and I did not swipe my card. I had 2 gift cards from family that I got for Christmas, so I did have one for $100 and one for $50. That is the key. If you like Barnes, when it is your birthday, if it's an anniversary, it's a celebration, ask for a Barnes & Noble gift card. Now, in my other videos, I have mentioned that Barnes almost always has some type of sale going on, not a major, but it's normally always that buy one, get one half off. I did not see a lot of that. This was the first time where I did not see a lot of sales going on. They did have some books for 50% off, but it wasn't a lot going on, like sale-wise. And I did this in a rush before going to book club, so I didn't get to walk on as much as I would like to. On that same token, there are a lot of books that I have here that I have not read, so I didn't have a big drive to just buy a whole bunch of books when I know that there's so many new books that I have here that I do want to also get to. So I did buy some stuff for like that are part of a series or books that are already on my TBR, but even still, I did not go through all of my gift card money, and I did use some of my gift card money to renew my Barnes & Noble membership. I believe it was, let me see, $40. So to become a premium member, it is $40. And one of the benefits of this is that you earn essentially cash back rewards. So every time you earn, let me see, I wrote it down actually. Let me see, I wrote it on TJ Maxx receipt. Every time you spend $10, you get 1 stamp. And then when you get 10 stamps, it's converted into a $5 reward. I currently have $30 in rewards that I've saved up over a year. If you want to do that mental math, you can. I'm not going to expose myself of how much money I have spent at Barnes in over a year, but to me it's not that bad. But yeah, every $10 you get 1 stamp. Once you get 10 stamps, you get $5. That's based off of the paid membership price, and they also get special coupons that we get sent in the mail for, like, sometimes hard copy books, and we do sometimes get early access to certain books. So it does have its perks, and I feel like if you're already at Barnes that much, paying the $40 really is not that bad, because you're paying it just once a year. And again, if you start doing the method that I'm teaching you right now, if you start asking for gift cards, it'll pay for itself. I did not pay for membership this year. It expired, I think, in like November, but I didn't know because I hadn't been shopping at Barnes. But then once Christmas came, I got that. And once you sign up and once you also renew, you do get a tote bag. They had these black and gold ones. They didn't have the gray one that I have. This is the one I got last year, and I use this bad boy. This is the one from last year when I got my membership. But I use that one like when I go to the bookstores and things like that. But they had this black and gold one. They had a royal blue one, which was very beautiful, but it didn't fit my vibe. It didn't fit me. If they would have had a pink one, they had a pink one. But they had this one, royal blue, and a dark burnt orange one. That was also pretty cute. But this is more neutral for me. I'm not a fan of the gold, not fully, but this is what I got with that. And again, my membership was $40, so it's $39.99, and then you get a free tote whenever you sign up or when you renew. Now, as far as actual books go, I did read, where is she? One Dark Window was the book that I did read for a book club. I think it was in November we had to read this. This is more, it was for, the category I think was fantasy. And I would say it's more of it says gothic fantasy debut. Dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. This is dark fantasy. This is not romantasy. There's romance in there a little bit, but it's not based on romance, like, you know, Fourth Wing or Court of Akatar. I don't know that. Or Akatar, it's not like that. It's definitely a different type of magic system that I'm not used to. Instead of you know, the typical fae or people having magic within, their magic is based off of cards, basically. And there's also an infection that's going on. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. It says that she needs a monster. She calls him the nightmare. The monster that's like in her head that no one knows that she has going on. It says he protects her. He keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. That line right there is about the only part that you can carry on from other books. Nothing comes for free. especially magic. I'm sorry, y'all. These aligners be getting me with my speech. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. So that's kind of one of the main parts of the book as well, is that magic comes at a cost. So it says a maiden must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. I liked it. I think I might have gave it a 3 to a 4, somewhere in there. It wasn't bad. I did like it. People in book club, not everybody was a fan of it. I liked it. So I did buy the second book, which is called Two Twisted Crowns. Have I read the back of it? No. I don't want to be spoiled too much. Oh, they go on a quest to save the kingdom. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be good. I don't want to read the back or tell you what the back is about in case you have not read this book, and sometimes the back will spoil what's going on in the first book, so I'm so sorry, I'm not going to tell you that. But read this book, and if you've already read this book, we're jumping into this one next, and this one is pretty chunky. The second one was a little bit chunkier. Oh yeah, she's chunky. I like them big. I like them chunky. I don't want to read too much. I think for one of the books before, I actually spoiled it for myself and see how many pages there were, and I hate when that happens. It's looking like 400, 430. Class. The epilogue is 426, so somewhere in there, 400 something. That's how many pages there are, and these are how they look side by side. Wait, is it gonna focus? There you go. Amazing. So let me put this one back, and I'll figure out where I'm gonna put this one later. Now, this one is called Homegoing. This is also different than what I typically like to read. It is by a Black author, and for me personally, I don't really like to read books that are too deep into historical truths, because I like to escape when I read. I don't want to read about actual things going on. I want to read something that's clearly fantasy, not real life. Let me dissociate from what's actually going on. However, this cover was speaking to me. It's called Homegoing, a novel by Ya Gyasi. I hope I'm saying her name right. I'm probably not, so if someone knows, or I actually will look it up. But yeah, Ya Gyasi. I want to go with that. It says, in Ghana's 18th century, two half-sisters are born into different villages, each unaware of the other. One will marry an Englishman and lead a life of comfort in the palatial rooms of the Cape Coast castle. The other will be captured in a raid on her village, imprisoned in the very same castle, and sold into slavery. Homegoing follows the parallel paths of these sisters and their descendants through 8 generations, from the Gold Coast to the plantations of Mississippi, from the American Civil War to Jazz Age Harlem. Ya Gyasi's extraordinary novel illuminates slavery's troubled legacy both for those who were taken and those who stayed, and shows how the memory of captivity has been inscribed on the soul of our nation. That sounds really good. Even though it's about slavery and historical truths, oh my god, this book is cut in half. I might have to take this back. It sounds really good and something that I would like to read. It also reminded me of, what's it called? The Vanishing Half. The Vanishing Half is a similar book that is about two sisters who are like passé blanc, which is basically white passing. They're two white passing women who end up choosing to live 2 different lives. This is bothering me. And I feel like because this cut is so sharp that I did not do this, this is also why I need to start checking my books before I just be grabbing stuff. Oh no, this is not me, because it's like cut into some of the papers too. Yeah, that's gonna go back. Maybe tomorrow, actually. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of The Vanishing Half, because it also tells the story of those 2 sisters over time, of how one lives their life and what happens to her and her children, her descendants. It's a similar plot is what it's sounding like, but instead of, with the women who were white passing, these are women who, one was forced into slavery and another married an Englishman. That's a plot. I'm all about the plot, and that's a plot. So I'm going to stand by that book. I really hope it's good. I did not look it up on Goodreads. I'm trying not to depend on Goodreads as much. I did not look it up on Goodreads. I'm just going into it blind, or 60% blind, because I have the back to go off of. My next book that I did purchase was Babel by R.F. Kuang. And I did like her book Yellowface. This is a completely different book because I think it's, I believe, fantasy compared to contemporary fiction. Yellowface was hilarious. Okay, it's funny, but it's not, because that's the first book where I disliked the main character, but that did not stop me from reading the book. Oftentimes when we dislike the main character, it makes it very hard for us to even want to read the book or to even care about what's going on with him. But for the main character of that book, it's based on a white woman who went to college and all that stuff with another Asian American woman, but the Asian American woman is the one who becomes a successful writer. And so her writing career has been mediocre at best, subpar, barely making it by. And the Asian woman, her career, she's skyrocketing. She's doing great. And you can tell, it's in like first person, I believe, from the white woman's point of view. She's jealous. Like, the envy is like soaking out of her. At first I was like, am I reading into this too much? Like, am I just feeling like she's that way? But I think that's the whole point, is to show like how envious she was of her. And then what happens is, while they're like together having drinks or something like that at her house, the Asian woman chokes on some food and she dies. And so while she's there, her friend, the white lady who we were reading this from, she goes and takes one of her manuscripts about a book on Chinese American history and gives it to her publishers as if it's her own. But she does critique it and like kind of tweak it a little bit, make some changes. So in her eyes, she's good to go. So it's about that whole thing of her submitting it, her envy, the fame she gets from writing the book, and then a whole lot of just goes down. But I really liked the book. I think I gave that one also 4 or 5 stars. I'm not sure, honestly. Check my Goodreads, figure out which one I gave it. But I know I liked that book. And so I read it on my Kindle first, because I'd never read a book by R.F. Kuang before. So I did not know if I was going to like Yellowface. So I got it on my Kindle first for free. And then from there, I ended up purchasing it because I did like it. It made me giggle. It made me giggle because it was like this. It was so I was in so much disbelief of how jealous she was, and also how in denial she was about being wrong, because in her eyes, she does not think she's wrong. She thinks what she's done is justified. She didn't really steal it because she changed it up. And so seeing her thought process was definitely insane. Actually, no, I did not do it on my Kindle. I did an audiobook. So I was listening to her explain to me why she was not wrong. It was like talking to a friend who you know is wrong, but that's your friend, so you gotta listen to what they're saying. That's exactly how I felt. But anyways, we're not talking about Yellowface right now. We're talking about Babel. Yes, Babel. This is, I believe, a fantasy book, because I was looking for a new fantasy book to read, and I've seen this multiple times, and I've always assumed it was like The Hobbit, and I feel like The Hobbit is a series that I should like. However, I've tried to watch the movies, and I fall asleep on the first movie every single time, so I've never cared to read the actual Hobbit. And this book cover reminds me of The Hobbit, so I've always passed it up. But then I realized today, it's the same author, the author that I know I already like. So I was like, yes, I will pick this up. I will read her. Let's see. 1828, an act of translation is always an act of betrayal. So someone is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lovell there. Robin trains for years in Latin, Greek, and Chinese. For preparation for the day, he'll enroll in the Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. Babel is the world center for translation and, more importantly, magic. Fantasy. I said, oh, okay. I didn't know what it was about. I did not know it was fantasy until I got to that part when I was reading in the Barnes. I said, oh, this is a book of fantasy. This is my genre. I should like this. Silver working, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars, has made the British unparalleled in power, as the arcane craft serves the empire's quest for colonization. For Robin, Oxford is a utopia dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. But knowledge obeys power, and as a Chinese boy raised in Britain, he realizes that serving Babel means betraying his motherland. As his studies progress, Robin finds himself caught between Babel and the shadowy Hermes Society, an organization dedicated to stopping imperial expansion. When Britain pursues an unjust war with China over silver and opium, Robin must decide. Okay. This is Babel in Arcane History. Oh no. It shouldn't be too crazy. Okay, so what I just took from that, Babel is a school, so he is Chinese. His school, I think, is in Britain. Where's Babel? Whatever it is, it works with Oxford, and from there he has to decide basically if he wants to help out with colonization or if he wants to help with Babel. What you want to do. I'm hoping there is more magic involved. It sounds like it's barely mentioned, honestly, on this back, and it's still, I can't tell. I don't know. I'm excited to read it because I like how the author wrote Yellowface, so I'm hoping she has the same good storytelling skills for Babel. I know this is a hit. It's a very popular book. I'm not taking a chance on like a random book or anything. This is definitely a well-known popular book, so you've probably seen this in Barnes, or you've probably heard this from somebody else. So I am excited to read this and let you guys know what I think on it, but I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. It can go either way. It can go great, or it can be like, it was alright. But she does have her most well-known books, I would say, are this one, Yellowface, and The Poppy War. And that, I think, is a book that is also based in China and a war they have going on. I don't know too much about it. I just know that's her other series that she has. And that one is a series. There's 3 books in that one. This one, I believe, is a standalone, and Yellowface is also a standalone. Now, the final book I got from Barnes, this is one that I had actually recently added to my TBR on there on my Goodreads app. If you don't follow me on Goodreads, follow me, okay? You can keep track of my thoughts as I'm actually reading a book, because the book I just read, The God of the Woods, I was so excited to tell you about that book. I thought it was going to be literally a great book. Terrible. I believe I gave it 2 stars, and y'all know 2 stars means I'm not recommending it. I'm not. It was about, sorry, getting sidetracked. However, the plot was there. Y'all know I live for a plot. The plot was there. The 2 siblings go missing. One boy went missing, I think, about 10-15 years prior from his family's house. And now the daughter, who was the last one left, she's gone missing. And so it's like trying to figure out what's happened to them. That's a plot. That is a plot. However, there are 10, like, at least, I'm not exaggerating, there are at least 10 different point of views going on in this book. And on top of that, we are jumping from, I think, 1961 to 1975 in July and 1975 in August. So think of that. So that's 3 different timelines for like 6-7 people who do all 3 of those timelines. It's too much. And I was upset. Because then on top of that, with the point of views changing so much, literally each chapter your point of view is going to change. So on top of that, when something good does start happening, after it builds up and it happened in this chapter, it switches point of views and timelines. So as soon as the case starts building up in 1975 present day, we jump back to 1961. And I was underwhelmed by what happened. Like, I can see how we got here, but I don't think the jumping back and forth with 10 different point of views was necessary to tell this story. I do understand, I do appreciate the layering that was involved. It wasn't completely terrible, that's why I didn't get a 1. However, I don't think all of those jumps were necessary, nor do I think all of the character changes were necessary. I don't think it was, she could have really just done this like a 3rd person narrative and it would have been fine. Jumping back and forth maybe, but I was not a fan of the 10 different POVs on top of the 3 different eras of time. Was not a fan. The writing was great. She could write, but she might want to just lay off the point of views and the time jumps. But the writing style was amazing. I think she's a great writer. She just, I don't know. They should have changed that. Anyways, this book was almost, I'm going to say a blind purchase. I had just heard it was good, so I bought it. That's pretty much, like, I didn't really know what it was about. I saw it, 5 Broken Blades. I saw it, I was like, okay, that looks familiar. I feel like I just told somebody I wanted to get this, which was myself. I just told myself that I wanted to read this book. And we have sprayed edges. Y'all know how I feel about the sprayed edges. I'm not passing that up. I think they're catching on that more and more people want the sprayed edges. And on top of that, when I saw it was hardcover, I was like, do I want to pay $30 for this for my gift cards? No. But 50% off. So regular price is $33. Half of that. That basically makes it into a paperback price, and probably even still a little bit cheaper than most paperbacks, honestly. Let's see if I can get this sticker off. Lord, pray for me. It's not looking too good. It's actually not. Okay, I'm back. This is not where the hem was before, but it's okay. 5 Broken Blades by My Corlin. Only one can take the crown. The cover, don't judge a book by its cover. However, when you have a bomb cover, people are going to want to pick your book up. Like, I saw the cover and I was intrigued. Oh, there's some on top too. This is the cover. And it just looks like this book feels rich. I don't know how to explain it. It's a hardcover, yes, but this book feels like, I don't know, it feels great. On the back, it says, "Let the best liar win." Let me tell y'all what it's about. Story time. Look at this. Look at this artwork. Hello. I don't think there's pictures in here. There's not, but I'm seeing different point of views. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not against different point of views, but I'm against 10. That's enough. That's excessive. Okay. I feel like I'm reading to y'all a bedtime story. But anyways, it's the season for treason. Are you hooked already? Because I am. The king of Yusan must die. The 5 most dangerous liars in the land have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective, to kill the god King Jun. He has it coming. Under his merciless, immortal hand, the nobles flourish, while the poor and innocent are imprisoned, ruined, or sold. And now each of the 5 blades will come for him. Each has tasted bitterness, from the hired hitman seeking atonement, a lovely assassin who seeks freedom, or even the prince banished for his cruel crimes. None can resist the sweet, icy lure of vengeance. It's pulling me in. Are you pulled in? They can agree on murder. They can agree on treachery. But for these 5 killers, each versed in deception, lies, and betrayal, it's not enough to forge an alliance. To survive, they'll have to find a way to trust each other, but only one can take the crown. Let the best liar win. That's a book. Out of all the ones I purchased, this might be the one I'm most excited for. And if I had to rank them in order, the one I'm most excited for, I would say this one, then this one, and then Fable, Two Twisted Crowns. Now, justification, I'm not in a rush to read this one. Like, I read that book 2 months ago, so I'm not really itching immediately to read this. And I do have Onyx Storm coming up. Babel, I'm not sure exactly what's going on in this book, so that's why she's so low for the pyramid. This is going to be a good book. I'm already knowing. I'm already hoping. I think I had skimmed like a page or two to make sure that I liked the writing style and it wasn't giving juvenile, and it wasn't, so that's so good. I don't know if I want to go back to Barnes to get this a different cover. I don't know. And then, yeah. This seems the most intriguing. I saved the best for last, not on purpose, but because at the bottom of my bag. But this is the one that I'm really most excited about. I will keep y'all up to date on my Goodreads on how I'm doing with this one, as well as probably my book page. I'll let y'all know when I'm finishing these things as well. I think that's it. Honestly, real short and sweet. Just spending the day with me doing bookish stuff. So I had my book club meeting. I went to Barnes, and then I showed y'all my book haul. That is that. I don't think there's anything else for us to really talk about today, unfortunately. But if you do have things you do want me to talk about with y'all or show y'all, let me know. I do both. I do the book page. Ivy book. I'm talking to the people. hold on. She has an ear infection right now, so tomorrow she's going to the vet. But anyways, Ivy, you gotta sit. I do different types of content. I do love books. I do have actually a whole separate Instagram page just for my books. I have a Bookstagram page. So if you do want to keep up with me on there for Instagram for all things book related, definitely give me a follow on there. I post when I go to book club, what books I'm currently reading, my thoughts on those books more actively and more, I guess, as it's actually happening. That's going to be on my Bookstagram page. But I do also have a personal page on there if you want to follow my personal Instagram. But as far as YouTube goes, I will be posting book content, lifestyle content, solo living, things like that. So if this is something that you want to get into, because we can sit and talk about books all day. You see, y'all have been here with me. It says 7 minutes. I know I've been talking longer than that, and I've just been yapping about books. I can yap about books all day, but I will not do that to y'all. But if you have book recommendations for me, let me hear them. I do have some romance stuff going on my shelf. Romance is not my main favorite genres, but I do like fantasy with romance. So romantasy, chef kiss for me. I do like fantasy books, so I'm trying to broaden my horizons because last year I read a lot of series books that were fantasy, so I didn't really branch out that much as far as fantasy goes.